Appreciate that update. Maybe a little bit of good news that the levee is doing its job and, of course, holding back that water. We appreciate the update from South Dakota. We want to head over to Chris right now. He has some amazing pictures of the flooding in Iowa and Nebraska.
Yeah, and just take a look at some of these pictures right here, Chris. So we continue our coverage of the major flooding, and you can just see here we're talking about some major flooding along the Missouri River with these aerial photos. These were taken by Larry Geiger, a recreational pilot, and we want to welcome him in right now via Skype. And Larry, hello to you. And first off, you were flying over this area. This was between Nebraska to Iowa. Is that correct?
Yeah, started off at Hamburg, Iowa, and then flew north. I made the trip a couple of times. Welcome to Nebraska.
Now, we're looking at some of these images. It looks like farmland, some of these buildings almost completely submerged. What was your reaction when you saw this and you saw the scale of this?
I can see normally when I fly that route or fly towards the river, I almost have to be on top of the river to see it. This time the river is so wide I could see it 30 miles away. It was just it took my breath away.
And Larry, when we look at this, can you even pick out, like when you were flying, could you pick out where the main stream would normally be?
Yes, there's several pictures that I have that kind of illustrate that. There's it looks like a road between a row of trees, but the river is just so wide at several places, especially down further south you go, the more that the river opens up or widens up, the ground gets a little flatter. So the result is much more dramatic, but it's quite impressive. The narrower it is, the faster the water's moving. So it's quite an impressive sight. It's a 500-year flood. It's a huge event.
All right, Larry Geiger, a recreational pilot, thank you very much for joining us this evening, and thank you very much for sharing the pictures as well.
Thank you for having me.
And now what we want to do is we want to take a look at the forecast for this week, and we're